What's up guys, it's Wraith back with another video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be talking all about kind of stretch res, what it is, what's the misconceptions, what's the benefits of it, because I know a lot of you guys have been wondering about it, and a lot of you guys actually watch my videos obviously and notice that I play on stretch, and I kind of want to explain about why I play on stretch and why I actually feel it is better than native res. So first off, I'm going to kind of explain how stretch res actually came to be. So back before Fortnite, the biggest like kind of not battle royale I guess you could say, but PC game was CS:GO, and it had probably one of the best competitive scenes in the entire world for esports. And basically what it did was whenever you went stretch resolution, the hitboxes actually did increase in CS:GO. So basically players would increase their stretch instead of playing native res, and they'd have a better field of vision as well as a better hitbox. Now I'll be going into kind of more detail about Fortnite into stretch res, but I won't be going too technical because I'm sure you guys don't actually care about all the pixels and all that stuff. I'll just kind of main idea. But if you're excited for this, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, use code Wraith-YT in the item shop. Now let's get into Fortnite. So actually, like I said, in CS:GO, the hitboxes were increased for for hitting other players basically, but for some reason in Fortnite they decided to make it in their game files or in their kind of settings that basically instead of making it so the hitboxes are better and bigger, they made it so whenever you stretch the screen, so it'll go X, the X side will stretch out, it'll actually stretch, but the Y side, so the person standing up will be smaller, so they'll be shorter. Instead of, let's say, 5'11", they'll be 5'8". I guess you can put that into perspective. But yeah, basically, so what it does is it does make your right and left side bigger, but it also makes your Y side smaller. So it kind of actually doesn't kind of make the hitbox bigger like a lot of people assume. It's kind of just a placebo effect because the the gun crosshair, I guess, yeah, the gun crosshair is bigger, which confuses a lot of players because they're like, okay, well, this is bigger, and the people look bigger, so it looks like I can hit them easier. That's actually just a placebo effect. Like, it doesn't actually help you hit them better. Like I said, it shrinks your character, it makes it wider, but it also shrinks it, so it kind of like cancels it out basically. So that's kind of one of the misconceptions as to stretch res and why people use it. Everyone thought this, but through tons of hours of research on Reddit and tons of people figuring out, it actually doesn't help your hitboxes. So now we're going to talk about the FOV, which is field of vision. So basically the best thing I'd say about stretch res is the increase in field of vision. So what I mean by that is basically, I'll show some screenshots on the screen right now, but when you're playing on native res, basically how it works is you can only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 or 4.5 boxes upwards, so like wide state basically. But if you're playing say on 16 times 1080, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bit upwards. So basically you have a more heightened sense of where people are. So in build fights, that's really good. And then for even 1440 times 1080 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a 3/4. And obviously the more stretch you go, the higher you can see. So I play on 1280 for example, so my field of vision in build fights is ton. Like it's very easy for me to track people if they're above me or underneath me, because I can see so much clearer. So say for example, if I'm playing on 1280 and someone is playing on native res, which is 1920, I'm going to be able to see where they are not way before, but a good box before where they can see me. So if you're playing on 1079 by 1080, which I would love to play at, but my videos would look doo-doo, then yeah, like it's absolutely incredible like how much the difference is of how you can see people. Like they'll be able to see you probably 2 boxes or 2 walls before you can even see the other person, right? So if you actually want to field of vision, I highly suggest going to stretch res because it is a big benefit. That's probably the biggest benefit I'd say with stretch res. But then also there's another one, which is you get an increase in FPS boost. So now this doesn't really matter if you have a $4,000 PC, a $3,000 PC. That won't matter too much. It more matters towards the people like me, for example, who have a pretty high-end $1,600 PC. I have a laptop, but same thing. It's very similar. I can run it around 180 consistent FPS on like the loading screen example. But whenever I go stretch res, the more stretched you get, because the pixels don't have to like work as hard to get as smooth. Basically your FPS boosts way more. So I boost a whole 30 to 40 FPS difference by going from native res all the way to 1280. So basically, to make it simple, FPS isn't that much of a deal during just normal fights. Like for example, this fight right here where my aim is absolute hot. Besides that, but hey, we won't talk about that. Yeah, like it's not that big of a difference. Just when you're playing normal fights. When it comes a big difference is when basically you go into endgame or you're playing scrims. When there's like 14, 15 other people very close to you and everyone's building, everyone's spamming, and the storm's moving in, the game basically just overloads on how fast everything is going on. So the game just like can't load as quick as it is. That's why you see streamers, even streamers with $2,000, $4,000 PCs, you basically see that their frames per second just drop down dramatically to 50, 60 FPS, which if you guys don't know, that's around what the console frames per second is. I think it's 60 frames per second. So on console, endgame, if it's a very serious endgame and everyone's building, everyone's spamming, etc., etc., they're only going to have 20 FPS if they're lucky. Like, that just means it's going to be laggy, you're not going to be able to see a lot of things, just a lot of negatives about how like quickly you can build, how quickly you can shoot, etc., etc. But if you have, say, even an extra 30, 40 FPSs, so say a streamer is on native res and he's getting around 90 because it's a really good late game, yet someone's on stretch res at 1280 and they get an extra 30 frames per second and they're at 100 frames per second, their game's going to be way smoother than that other person with only the 60 frames per second or 90 frames per second. But yeah, so basically, late game, I'd say, is the biggest difference with the FPS boost. But yeah, there's not too much other like positives. Some say that the input lag is just gone when you do stretch res. So basically what that means is like sometimes you'll just randomly lag, and like say for example your builds won't place, or you'll just your screen will pause and it just won't do anything. That's input lag. So some say that it actually helps reduce input lag and actually take it out. I don't know. I've been researching and I can't find any definite proof. But main thing is a lot of people just find stretch res more enjoyable to play, and honestly it just feels smoother. Again, this could be a placebo effect. It might be because the frames per seconds boost, but everything just feels smoother for me. The builds feel smoother. Everything just, I like it way more personally, and I know a lot of streamers love it personally as well. So if you're not into like how stretch res looks and you can't deal with it, I don't recommend coming here because there's not too much boost. There's a couple, but you are losing a couple things, so it's kind of your decision. Honestly, I like how it plays. I know a lot of my buddies like how it plays. Now there's definitely some pros that use stretch res and there's definitely some pros who don't use stretch res. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, use code Wraith-YT, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you guys all next time.